and welcome back to my kitchen. Today is a very frugal meal. Now this is a meal not for everyone, but if you want to have a frugal family dinner, I hope you watch this video because you can't get much cheaper than this. This recipe is called glazed Frankfurter casserole, which in other words is a glorified word for hot dog casserole. It comes out of this book. And it's so simple and easy to make, and it's really frugal. All right, let's get right into cooking. All right, we are going to use 3 cans of baked beans. These are 49 cents a can at Aldi. So we're going to have $1.50 into the beans. Now I do have my own canned beans, but I was cleaning out my cupboards and I found these. And now we are going to cut up some hot dogs and add to the beans. Now I know not everybody likes hot dogs. I found these in the bottom of my freezer. And I thought, well, let's get them out and let's make something with them. Now it only calls for 6 francs. So we're going to put 6 hot dogs in, and then I'll use the rest of the pack for another recipe that I'm working on. Now, the original recipe calls for to lay them on top. I don't like that idea, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut mine up. But you can lay them on top and cut them in half. That's what it calls for, but I'm doing it this way. This is going to be a lot like pennies from heaven. When I went to school, the cafeteria had a recipe and it was called Pennies from Heaven. It was hot dogs in a special kind of sauce. We're going to go put these in a bowl. All right, so here is our bowl with our 6 hot dogs in them. So here's the 6 hot dogs in the bowl, and now we're going to make a special topping to mix in with these hot dogs, and that calls for 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I have never made this before, but I was looking for a recipe that was real frugal using up these hot dogs. And then 1 teaspoon of mustard. I am going to use more than that. I'm using about ½ tablespoon. And then about 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now we're going to go ahead and mix this all together. And now we're going to put these in with the baked beans. All right, we're going to cover it up with foil and bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make some rice. So let me clean up my kitchen area here, and then I will be making some rice to go with the pork and beans. All right, now we're going to add rice. So we're going to make rice in my little rice cooker. Now for me, this rice was free, so I don't include this into the price of my meal. Going to add some of my homemade butter. Not a whole lot. About 1 tablespoon. And now what I do is I add to my rice, I am adding peas. I add the frozen peas. I add the frozen peas right in the rice cooker. It will cook everything together. It's such a simple meal, but sometimes you use what you got. And cleaning out my freezers, I am really happy to announce that one of my freezer I have a freezer on top of a refrigerator, and then I have a really small chest freezer. But the freezer on top of my refrigerator is half empty because we've been using up random foods that have been in the freezer since this summer. So with the rice, with the peas, and then with the baked beans and the hot dogs, I think that's going to be a very good meal. How much did this cost an average person? The hot dogs you can get for $1. The beans were 50 cents a can. So we're at $1.50 for the beans and $1 for the hot dogs. That's $2.50. The peas was half a pack from Aldi, which was 89 cents. So they were 40 cents. So you could get a meal like this for only a couple dollars. The rice at Dollar Tree is $1.25 now, but I didn't even use a third of a pack. So this is an extremely cheap meal, and it can feed a family of 5. Fairly good if you add the rice to it. All right, everyone, I'm going to clean everything up, and then I'll show you what the meal looks like when we are done. So it's time to get the rice out of the Mylar bag. I've had it storing now since 2019. With added bay leaves in it, it keeps your rice really fresh. A lot of people said about you want to freeze your rice before you put it in long-term storage. Same with your flour. I got a hint for all of you. I don't have freezer space to be putting 50 pounds of flour or 50 pounds of sugar in the freezer for a couple days. But if you do it in the wintertime, right now, it's 7 degrees outside. If you do it in the wintertime, you can let nature do all of that. You can make nature have nature do all that, and that way if there is bugs or something, I guess if you freeze it, that will help preserve it even more. I don't necessarily do that except for in the wintertime. If I am stocking up, I will set things out overnight outside, and that would be instead of putting it in the freezer for overnight. All right, we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut this open and fill up my jar with rice. All right, everybody, lunch is ready. So let's see how it looks. The rice with the peas. A spoonful of that, please. And we have the baked beans with the hot dogs. Smells really good. So there's our plate. Now you could have a salad, or you could have some kind of something else as a side if you wished, but we're gonna eat it just like this. Actually, it's really good to have it with the rice. The rice kind of helps balance everything out. So it's basically like beans and rice with some hot dogs. I hope you make this recipe. It's a really old one, and it won't break the bank. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, my friends, this portion of my video is a product review. I add this at the end of my videos so they do not interfere with my main video. I get no monetary compensation for these product review videos on YouTube, but I do place these same videos on Amazon, and there I do get a compensation. Since my revenue with YouTube is not very good, I am compensating my revenue by making videos for Amazon. Instead of requiring to have Patreon or membership from my subscribers, I chose this way to compensate my income, and this way it doesn't cost you guys anything at all. These are so adorable. They are solar lights that are for outside, but I have them inside. Right now they're charging, and they are on to show you that they're charging. They are so adorable. Really, really cute. The back, it shows here is the solar, and here is the on and off switch. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I did want to show you what they look like, and then I will show you what they look like at night.